Look, I'm just going to say it, you don't need LeetCode for web development. Give me 3 or 4 minutes of your time, and maybe I'll save you guys a few months. Here's the key truth about web development, it isn't competitive programming. A lot of developers seem to mix this up. So to give you guys an analogy, let me walk you through if you did grind out LeetCode. Let's say you grind out LeetCode, you're going to get problem solving skills, algorithmic skills, and you're going to get access to big tech. Seems good on paper, right? Wrong. LeetCode is only going to give you the skills to pass interviews. It's not actually going to transfer. What you actually need is frameworks, state, APIs, SEO, and debugging skills. These are going to carry on so much more further than LeetCode could ever bring you. I know what you're thinking though. What about interviews, Josh? Isn't that the whole point of LeetCode? Also wrong. The majority of web dev jobs aren't tech giants. That is the truth about web dev. A lot of people seem to mix this up. They think they need to go for Google immediately off the bat. You don't. A lot of small companies don't actually care about LeetCode at all. In fact, they might not even care about anything you do that's traditional. What they're really looking for is stuff like your portfolio, your GitHub, and your ability to have real-world practicality. These are things that transfer on so much more and are going to be much more to smaller companies, which are the majority of web dev jobs to begin with. What about the other question? You're probably asking me though, it can't hurt to do though. Why don't I just stack it on with everything else I'm already doing? Which is a fair point. The only problem is that the ROI is shit. The amount of time you're going to spend on LeetCode could be transferred to literally anything else, and it'd be probably better than LeetCode. For example, building projects, learning a new framework or tool, or even learning deployment, DevOps, etc. is going to transfer on so many more skills than LeetCode could ever. And on top of that, you're going to be able to actually use that in a job place. The 95% of what you learn in LeetCode would be completely redundant and useless. You have to think about it like this. You only have 24 hours in a day. You only have so much time to grind out stuff and actually get progress towards getting that first web dev job. And you have to also remember that once you have a job, you start getting paid and you start getting experience, both of which are far more valuable than anything else you could do before you get that job. So you can focus on these 5 things that I put on screen here. They're going to transfer on so many more skills than LeetCode would ever give you, and you can actually get hired a lot easier by knowing these first. I'm going to address the obvious question though. What if you actually do want to get into big tech? Which is a fair question. At that point, fine. If you were seriously dead set on getting into big tech, you think you have the brains to do it, and you're willing to grind and dedicate hours every day to doing everything I listed and LeetCode, then you can do it. But remember, it's only a short interview level tool, and that's all. Honestly, I'd say drop it as soon as you can, because any skills you learn in LeetCode will be useless for web dev. I know I'm shitting on LeetCode in this video, but it's just not for web developers. It's just the wrong tool to try and grow as a web developer. If you're a software engineer and you're going for more functionality-based code or backend stuff, maybe I could see that then. But for web dev, you really don't need it. If you just focus on these skills right here, I promise you, they will be so much more useful for you in the future. If you want personal guidance, by the way, and you want to actually get practical advice and not just the stuff you hear online from other people regurgitated, I have an online community where I give private mentorship. I give real, no bullshit advice. If you're interested in that, there's a link in the description. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video.